Hello friends, welcome to our channel Mechanical Engineering Exams Made Simple. So I am basically making this video in order to throw light on Assistant Motor Vehicle Inspector job, its syllabus, especially paper 2. As you all know, this is your automobile engineering, right? So which you must have studied at your diploma level or your degree level, right? So coming to the post, AMVA post, this is a very good job, and especially it is a uniform job, right? You have a lot of social contacts and you have got a lot of social respect also. Now coming to the syllabus, especially you are having two papers. First paper is the general studies and second paper, this is your concerned subject. Your concerned subject is automobile engineering. Okay, so now this is a very good pay scale. I think you must be knowing that. So at the time of joining itself, I think you will get 50 to 60,000, not less than that. And especially I am making this video to just tell you that the coming year and coming next 2 years are going to be the years of recruitment notifications. There are no notifications in either Andhra Pradesh or Telangana. Especially in Telangana, for the last 7 years there are no notifications at all, and already the employees in the departments, they are feeling very much overloaded, and this necessitates the government to go for the recruitment. Of course, before the elections, we all know that recruitments will be made, and it is very much necessary for the government to fill up the existing vacancies. There are about, it is heard that there are about 2.5 lakhs in Telangana, and maybe around here or that figure in Andhra Pradesh, right? So they have to fill up the vacancies. So if the notification comes, you all know, and already Andhra Pradesh government has released a calendar in which they have mentioned that this post will be recruited under group 2 or separately, maybe, right? This is under transport department, you know that, right? And they have mentioned in the calendar which was already released that the examination notification will be coming in the month of March, right? Assuming that the notification coming in the is going to come in the month of March, assuming that there is 1.5 month given for your preparation, right? The examination is likely to be conducted in the month of May, right? Add 2 months, so May, right? This is your January, February, March, April, May, right? So actually, let us go to the syllabus part of this particular your automobile engineering. Actually, I have completed 2 batches, realizing the importance of this post and also the nature of job and also etc. And it is basically you are going to use your knowledge, mechanical diploma or your BTech mechanical engineering knowledge, you are definitely going to use. And definitely it goes without saying that we will be definitely excelling in the field which is related to our field, right? For example, you are a mechanical engineer, diploma holder in automobile or mechanical, or probably you are BTech holder in mechanical engineering. Definitely you will thoroughly enjoy this job, and this is a uniform job, and you know that not only your job prospects, it is very great job, you all know, right? I need not elaborate on this, right? So now let us go to the syllabus part of this particular automobile engineering. Actually, friends, I have completed 2 batches. Some of your friends who have realized this, the importance of this job, right? And realizing the time element and the amount of preparation required, like 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2, they have already joined and they have completed their entire syllabus. I have completed this entire syllabus single-handedly. That means there is no change of faculty. So actually what happens in normally all the institutions, okay, there may be different faculty for different subjects. There is no question of such a change of faculty. So I am only dealing with entire subject. So I am basically MTech in mechanical engineering production, BTech mechanical and MTech production. Basically I worked for a number of years in teaching. Probably I am having more than 20 years of experience, right? I have taught your automobile subjects for more than 10 years. Okay, so let us throw a light on this particular syllabus. So your syllabus goes like this. It is going to say basic thermodynamics. You are having systems, closed open system, property, cycle, and thermodynamic equilibrium, Zero's law, first law and second law of thermodynamics, pure substances, Monia diagram, vapor, power, cycles and Rankine cycle. So we are going to discuss all these things, right? So I am taking the batch, I am actually teaching morning 1 hour and evening 1 hour to complete the syllabus, right? So if we take up classes every day 2 hours, we will finish off our syllabus in 2.5 to 3 months, right? But if we go 1 hour per day, we can complete 3.5 months, right? So this is how your basic thermodynamics, right? So so if you go by the syllabus, right, it only our mechanical syllabus will be of such nature that it tells only one, for example, particularly let us say thermodynamics laws only, right? In the Telangana syllabus it was mentioned that thermodynamic laws, but it is going to include all these laws, right? So what is thermodynamics and different types of systems, and basically 3 laws are there, right? Zero's law of thermodynamics, actually 4 laws in fact. Zero's law of thermodynamics, first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics, and also third law of thermodynamics also there, which is going to tell us about the absolute entropy, right? It will be mentioned just simply like that, right? For example, in that cycles, right? In cycle you have to study a lot of things, and in the systems you have to study a lot of systems, open system, closed system, and study flow energy equation, like that. So there are so many things, and you have to do a lot of you have to practice number of problems in this particular every topic. And if you go to air standard cycles, Otto, diesel, combustion, dual combustion cycle, derivation of expression for mean effective pressure, diagram factor, efficiency, and Stirling engine. So to study the cycles itself, right, I have taken actually 3 to 4 classes. What we have done? We have completed entire thing. What is the basic nature of the cycle, on which what is the working fluid, and what are the diagrams on PV scale and also TS scale, and how to calculate your mean effective pressure and efficiency of this cycle, and also related problems also, right? And also comparison between various cycles. Here actually he has not mentioned about the comparison, but we have to compare the cycles, like your Otto cycle, diesel cycle, dual cycle, etc., all the cycles, right? And then your diagram factor, efficiency, and also Stirling engine. So what is the relationship? All these cycles have got relation or related to your Stirling engine. So definitely we have studied all these things, and your when comes to this, all this is your gears and nomenclature. This is coming to your theory of machines part. So you have thermodynamics part, and now it is the kinematics of machinery, KOM, or this is your from your kinematics of machinery, right? So gears in the nomenclature and simple compound epicyclic gear trains, and also calculation of torques. This has actually consumed actually 3 classes. Now coming to shafts, solid hollow shaft, shear stress, angular deflection due to torque applied, bending moments, combined moment, and torque. So you know that a shaft is a basically mechanical element which is used to transmit the power, right? You have to know the difference between axle, then shaft, and one more other thing is there. So, and it is subjected to various types of loads. Basically it is subjected to 2 types of loads. One is the shear stress due to rotation, and another one is the your bending stress, and also your shear stress, and it may be sometimes also subjected to axial load also, and due to which it will be subjected to axial stress also. For example, marine shafts are subjected to 3 types of loads: axial load, then bending load, and also maybe torque due to rotation. So all these things we have to study. Hollow shaft, we have to make a comparison between hollow shaft, how it is different, and what is the saving in weight if you are using a hollow shaft in place of a solid circular shaft, right? So all these things we have done, and also you have to combine the bending moment and torque, because the nature of bending moment and nature of bending stress and shear stress are different. You cannot combine just like that. You have to combine through principal stresses. This also you have to do, and we have done. Then comes your friction on the inclined plane, screw and nut, and then screw jack and self locking, right? What is the condition for self locking? What is the efficiency of a screw jack, and what is the effort required to raise the load and lower the load, and so many other things are involved. It only says that only like your screw jack, right? And what is your self locking, and all these things. Like this overhauling screw, like this, like that. So many topics are there, right? So we will discuss all those things, and we have done that successfully for those batches which are completed. Sir, already Telangana batch is also taking place, is going on. So we almost completed the syllabus. right? In Telangana, there are only 8 topics. So friends, my advice is that either you write TSPSC or APPSC, but don't write 2 exams, because actually the nature of syllabus and amount of syllabus is different, especially there is a lot of variation in the syllabus. Now comes to your fuels, fire point. What is fire point? What is flash point? Calorific value. What is calorific value? We are having 2 calorific values. One is the higher calorific value and one is the lower calorific value. And what are the calorimeter? Calorimeters are going to determine the dryness fraction of the steam. And also what is octane number, cetane number, and what is octane number? We know that it is the it is how your SI engine fuel or petrol is rated. Similarly, cetane number, your diesel fuel is rated through the cetane number, and then its importance. And also stoichiometric ratio. What is stoichiometric ratio? It is 14.5:1. It is the amount of air and fuel ratio which is going to result in the complete combustion of the fuel, like that, right? And of course your vehicle, it will be operating in different conditions, starting, idling, and your acceleration. The requirements of air fuel ratio are going to depend upon the engine operating conditions, first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, and neutral, etc. Right? These things also we have done. Single cylinder, multi-cylinder. What is the difference between single cylinder engine, multi-cylinder engine? Pre-wheel chambers, right? Number of chambers are there: open chamber, closed chamber, right? Like that. Number of chambers, direct chambers, direct combustion chamber, and indirect combustion chambers, like that. Various chambers are there. We have discussed, and we have going to discuss all these things. And also combustion ignition delay. So this knocking detonation phenomena is different in your SI engine and CI engine. So what are the governing factors? What are the factors that will increase the detonating tendency or decrease the detonation tendency or your knocking tendency? All these things, number of factors are around 12 to 15 factors are there. We have discussed, right? So how it is going to be affected, how it is your knocking is going to affect mean effective pressure or your engine performance or engine power output, etc. All these things we are going to discuss, all these things. And then firing order. What is the firing order? It is the order in which the cylinder are fired, like in multi-cylinder engine. For example, for 4-cylinder engine, it is 1, 3, 4, 2. First cylinder will be fired, then third cylinder, then fourth, and then second cylinder, like this. Then your piston and piston rings. What is the material of piston? What is the piston ring? What is its importance, significance? What is its use? And temperature profile. So you have got 2 types of pistons, and we have seen the temperature profile. So what is the temperature profile? It is going to give the temperature in the various locations of the your piston, right? There are various locations, right? What you call piston skirt is there, piston what you call cylinder head is there, okay, piston, so many other things are related with piston are there. So what is the temperature? Piston center, what is the temperature, for example, like that. So it is going to tell us about the distribution of temperature in 2 types of pistons, right? Heat shielded piston is another piston, and we have discussed all those things. And then comes your fuel system, carburation. What is carburation? It is the mixing of air and your petrol in the proper ratio, and before it goes to the cylinder, that will be done in your carburetor. So types of carburetors also we have discussed, right? Then like open draft, like all those draft based upon the draft, there are types of carburetors are there. We have discussed them. And gas and petrol injection system, right? Basically, so in the injection system we have got a petrol injection. So nowadays engines are using petrol injectors, what you call injection system, right? But earlier vehicles, they have not used injection system. Only carburetor used to be there. Sorry, spark plug is going to be used there, right? But in diesel, you have got what you call diesel injector, okay, diesel injector, fuel injector, right? So there is a lot of difference. Nowadays, actually, we are going for the injection systems in petrol engines also, right? So we have discussed various types of injection systems, like airless injection, air injection, like that discussed, and also diesel fuel injection system types, common rail injection system. This is a very, very important system for your diesel injection, right? And then fuel tank. What is fuel tank? How it is made? What are the materials of the fuel tank with which it is made, and which are going to have advantages? All these things we are going to discuss, and we have discussed. Then comes your balancing of cylinder engines. Basically, there are 2 types of mechanical parts. One is the rotating parts, other one is the reciprocating parts. You have got 2 things in this, right? Balancing of rotating parts and balancing of your reciprocating parts. It's a big chapter, right? I have taken 5 classes for this, 2 for the balancing of rotating parts and 3 for balancing of your reciprocating parts. Then comes your lubrication. and cooling systems. Number of systems are there, number of lubrication systems are there, number of cooling systems are also there. We have discussed in detail lubrication systems, right? Lubrication, I have taken 3 to 4 classes. Number of things are there, lubrication system, right? What is lubrication, what is lubrication rating, how your APA, American Petroleum Institute, right, has rated, so what is the formula for that, and all those things in this, right? And then cooling system. In the cooling system, we have basically two types. One is the air cooling system and water cooling system, and what are the relative advantages and disadvantages, and what is the, how it is going to work with your air cooling system and your water cooling system. This also we have done. Transmission, basically transmission is two types. One is the manual transmission, second one is the automatic transmission. We have discussed gearbox is normally known as the your manual transmission. In short, your gearbox indicates manual transmission, and there are various types of gearbox are there, like your synchromesh gearbox is there, then your what you call sliding mesh gearbox is there, then all these things are there. Right, constant touch gearbox is there. So it has not clearly mentioned, but we have discussed all those things. What are the advantages, what are the relative disadvantages, and how you are going to change the gear, how to get neutral gear, how to get what you call how to get what is this how to get second gear, then your top gear, then your reverse gear, etc. All these things. And clutches, propeller shaft. So this all comes under your transmission, right? From transmission of power from engine to your differential. And what are the connected things? The universal coupling, differential, all these come in. All this your transmission system. Then your clutches. What are the different types of clutches? What is the importance of clutch? What is the main use of a clutch? And then bearing pressure plays a very, very important role in place of clutch. And then also fluid clutch also we have discussed, right? Sometimes we go for fluid clutch because in which the power is going to be transmitted because of the action of the fluid, right, between the driven shaft and driver shaft. Now comes your brakes and brake mechanism. Types of brakes, number of types of brakes are there, mechanical, hydraulic, and your air brakes. So what is the advantage of air brakes? You know that air brakes are used when you have to stop the vehicle at short distance, right? And then your steering condition. This is basically there are two types of steering gears are there, Ackerman gear steering gear and Davis steering gear. We are going to study about the Ackerman steering gear, condition for correct steering, and also we are going to do some problems also, basic problems, right? And cot phi minus cot theta is equal to B by L. That is the condition for correct steering, and we have discussed this. And we have there are number of differences between these two, Ackerman Ackerman steering gear and also Davis steering gear. We have discussed all those things. Electrical system, right? Delco system, circuit wiring, working of electrical equipment. So various electrical equipment are there, and how they are going to work. We have discussed all those things, and especially this is a very, very important topic, friends. Your exhaust analysis in the last paper, 2018 paper. So I have seen there are about 12 to 15 bits are asked, more than 12 bits are asked from this particular exhaust gas analysis only. So all these things, right? Your sources, formation, effects of pollution on environment, human transient operation, especially emission standards are very, very important. You can get some good questions from your emission standards. Now currently we are using in India and internationally we are using various emission standards, right? They are called Bharat gas standards, emission standards, Bharat stage emission standards. We have discussed all these things, right? Then comes emission in SI engine. So emission phenomena in emissions in SI engines are going to vary from that emissions in your CI engines. Like what is the chemistry of SI engine combustion? This all comes under your combustion, and also then after combustion you are going to have the exhaust. In the exhaust we are going to have three elements: hydrocarbon emission, unburnt hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, and NOx emission, right? So there are going to be a lot of differences between NOx emission in SI engine and your CI engine. That all things we have discussed, and especially smoke comes in case of your diesel engine in some operating conditions, effect of operating variables, then emission in CI engines, all these things. Same thing like CO emissions, your HC emissions, and also NOx emissions in all these two engines. And then particulate emissions, especially particulate emissions you can see in only diesel engines but not in your SI engines, right? Then odor. Then all these various types of other emissions are also there, sulfur, aldehyde. And then what are the effect of operating variables on these engine emissions, like your CO, HC, and your NOx emissions. Then we have studied about the air condition emissions, right? What type of air conditions you are going to use in case of air conditioning, right? We have got two systems, right? One is the simple vapor compression system, refrigeration, and other system vapor absorption system is also there. And what are the advantages, disadvantages, relative advantage and disadvantage, and if any other refrigeration systems are there, and what is the difference between those. We have done all these things. Then comes your wheel alignment. This is very, very important. This is from your automobiles. From this also we have studied from your Kripal Singh, automobile engineering from by Kripal Singh volume 1 and volume 2. IC engines, we are going to follow IC engines by V Ganeshan. Then comes your caster, camber, they are basically angles, right? Or kingpin inclination, they are angles. Toe in and toe out are the distances between the front and rear, in the front and rear. So all these things we are going to study. And maintenance and traffic rules, traffic symbols are there, for which which traffic symbol is going to denote which activity. These things also we have to study. And materials, especially this is come from your material science. I have got a very good book to refer actually. This was written by a new author. I forgot right now. So we have got this also, right? Something like your materials, especially engineering materials. Structure, in the structure we have got FCC, SCP, and also BCC. All these things we are going to do. And then imperfections, right? Line imperfections, your point imperfection, then your surface imperfections and volume imperfections. All these things we are going to study. And of course ferrous and non-ferrous materials. Heat treatment of steels. In heat treatment we are going to study about the tempering, normalizing, your hardening and all these things. Then comes your instrumentation. This is a very, very important topic, friends. You must have not studied. And also we are going to see like transducer, right? Transducer. So it is going to get some signals and it is going to be converted, right? Open systems and closed system. How open system control systems are different from your closed system open control systems. All these things we are going to study, right? Motion, level, force, temperature, transducers. They are going to tell us about they are going to measure actually or tell the difference about the motion, level, force and temperature transducer. Then and relative advantages and what is the difference between closed loop and open loop control systems. Friends, what I mean to say is that to study in this particular syllabus in detail, you need at least 100 classes, 120 classes, hours of study is required. And also I am going to provide a very good material. You must be already familiar with my channel, right? I have made a number of videos on that, and all these material which I have discussed on my channel, which is in the form of PDF, that is your ebook form. I am going to provide all those things to you, right? And also you will be having current notes and also running notes also, right? So if you are a serious candidate, my advice, sincere advice, suggestion is to that, please join, right? Don't disappoint later, because actually you need to complete your what you call general studies paper as also your automobile engineering paper 2 also. And not only that, you should have a lot of revision also, and you have to read number of textbooks, and you should have in-depth knowledge, not just peripheral knowledge. And also you have to practice number of objective type bits. I am going to support you till your examination, and also I am going to tell you about what are the textbooks to be referred and what are the objective books to refer for your examination, right? So what I mean to say is that, so please think very, very carefully, and right, please go into our discussion so far we have done and take a decision accordingly. I am going to we are going to do the exam well and thorough and perfectly, and wish you all the best. Let us meet in a good video shortly.